Alright, so today we're going to be talking about Beckett Sennecke. Beckett Sennecke. Beckett Sennecke. Beckett Sennecke. Beckett Sennecke?
And Senneke.
Senneke. I don't know why, but I've been struggling with this guy's name for some reason. Today's mic is Jesper Kotkaniemi. I think it was appropriate to use Kotkaniemi as the microphone for today's video. Before getting into the video, I invite you guys to go subscribe to my new channel. I'm now making videos in French. From now on, I'm going to be making two versions of each video I make on this channel. One in English and one in French. So I now have a French YouTube channel named Tropicalnhl. So if you're French, if you speak French, you're better in French, you're more fluent in French, go subscribe to the channel. The link will be at the top of the descriptions. This video is also going to be available in French, so if you're more comfortable in French, go watch it, subscribe, and leave a like. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about Beckett Sennecke, player for the Oshawa Generals. I mean, apparently he is one of the guys that the Montreal Canadiens are really interested in drafting. I think right now in most of the lists, he's ranked between 15 and 20, but for some reason his name has been linked a lot to the Montreal Canadiens over the last couple of days. I made a tweet this morning talking about him, and yeah, I think people are kind of mad about what I said. I tweeted, drafting Beckett Sennecke 5th overall will be like the Coyotes drafting Barrett 8th and 5th overall back in 2018. You need to draft best player available, and at 5th overall, I'm sorry, but he's simply not. Yeah, I'm not saying that Sennecke is not a great player. That's not what I'm saying. I think he's going to be an NHLer, and I think he's going to be pretty good. But at 5th overall, I don't think he's going to be the guy. I think that there's tons of guys ahead of him in this draft, actually. And a bit like Barrett Hayton, he's going to be a competent NHL forward, but I do not see him become worthy of being a 5th overall pick in an NHL draft. So yeah, apparently what's going on right now is that the Montreal Canadiens have Celebrini at 1st, Demidov at 2nd, Caden Lidstrom at 3rd, and after they have Sennecke. Problem with that is that the Montreal Canadiens have 5th overall. And like, Celebrini's going 1st, that's 100% locked in. Demidov is most likely going in the top 3 as well, and Caden Lidstrom will probably not be available as well. So when you look at it that way, the player that's going to be available for the Habs, but judging by their preferences, is going to be Beckett Sennecke. And yes, I know he's been pretty good since February, but still, going for late risers at NHL draft with the 5th overall pick is really risky. I think that with the position we're in right now, I think it would be a safer option to go for a guy like Chaine, to go for a guy like Yzerman, to go for a guy like Berkeley-Catton, for example. And I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, but Berkeley-Catton is small. We don't need small players. Bro, the dude is 18 years old. He just turned 18 years old, and you know, a man can grow until he's 21. Bro is 18, just turned 18, and he's 5'11". Me personally, at 18 years old, I was 6 foot. Now I'm 23 and I'm 6'4". So yes, even though Berkeley-Catton is only 5'11", like some people are saying, I think he would complement the need that the Montreal Canadiens have had for the last decades. Getting a pure talented offensive player. We haven't had that in such a long time. If Lindstrom and Demidov are not available, I think that Berkeley-Catton would be the best option. If they really do not like him, Yzerman or Chaine, I think, are still better options than Beckett Sennecke. I'm just not thrilled at all to see the Habs draft Sennecke. I mean, with all the draft mistakes we've made over the last 2 decades, I just think it's too risky of a move to go after a late riser. And it's probably the last year that we're going to get a pick that good at the NHL draft. I mean, I think that next season the Habs, if they remain healthy again, are going to be pushing for a playoff spot. So it's probably the last top 5 pick that we're going to get in this rebuild. So can we please get a pure offensive talented player? Like, that's what we've been missing for 2 decades. That's what we need. That's what we want. And I know people are going to say, well, look at the Leafs. They have Mitch Marner, William Nylander, and are not able to win in the playoffs. It's not because they have talented players that they're not able to win in the playoffs. It's because they have no culture. If you have talented players and you can bring a culture with that, you're bound to win a Stanley Cup. The problem with the Leafs is not that they have too much talent. It's because they have no culture, because of the head coach, because of the organization. So it's not because of Mitch Marner. It's not because of Willie Nylander. It's not because of Austin Matthews that the Leafs are not winning. It's not because they have talent. It's because they have no culture. And having talented players does not mean having no culture. Culture comes from the head coach and from the development that they did with the young players. So if you can implement culture early on to those talented players, you're bound to have success success in the playoffs. Like, all the teams in the playoffs right now have at least one talented pure offensive player. So yeah, for me, Beckett Sennecke is not the move. I don't think it's the move, but I'm almost guaranteed that they're gonna end up selecting him. I think like the chances are like 75% that the Habs are going to end up drafting Beckett Sennecke, and I don't think it's good at all. Yes, he's been great. Yes, he's talented. Yes, he's good, but he's not a 5th overall pick. That's all I'm saying. And I feel like I've been repeating myself every year. I mean, I've been saying the same last year. Yes, Reinbacher is good, but he's not a 5th overall pick. They ended up drafting him 5th overall. So yeah, I think that it would have been a better option for the Habs to draft Ryan Leonard last year. It would have been the perfect fit to complement the top 6. He has the grit to be good in the playoffs. He was the perfect fit for the Habs last year. Last year's draft was heavy in forwards. They had a lot of great forwards in last year's draft. They decided to go on ahead and select a defenseman. This year, a lot of great defensemen are available, so I feel like the best option would have been to draft Leonard last year and draft a defenseman this year. So if we end up having 2 top 5 picks and the only 2 players that we're going to have are Reinbacher and Sennecke, I think it's going to be a massive hell for the Montreal Canadiens. I still do think that they're going to be competitive with those players, but I think that they could have done a better job. Just imagine if they took Leonard last year and they took Zane Parekh this year. That would have been perfect for me. They went for a defenseman in a heavy forward draft, and they were going to go for a forward in a defenseman heavy draft. It doesn't make any sense to me. Do they know what they're doing? Most likely. Have I lost trust in this management? I don't think so. But I don't think that drafting Sennecke is the best move. But yeah, let me know what you guys all think about this in the comments below. It's been your boy Tropical. Subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, do anything as you want, and I'll see y'all later in another video. Peace out. Bye-bye.